Hello and welcome to Walking and Talking with Mrs. Smith. I'm Mrs. Smith and I'm a Christian, and on my channel I'll be walking and talking about all things Christian related. But before you click that back button, this isn't going to be me preaching at anyone. It's just me musing and thinking things through as I go, so please be kind and polite in the comments. So today I've come to Singleton Lake in Ashford. It's a really pretty place to walk, so I thought it would be a nice place to share with you. So this week I've been thinking about laughter. And although it's true that sometimes life can be a bit of a struggle, for most of us it's pretty okay. And I think that sometimes we can take life a little bit too seriously. I mean, let's be fair, life is serious at the minute, especially with everything that's going on in various parts of the world. But if we're not careful, we can get a bit down from it all. From my point of view, I guess as a Christian, I feel it's really good for me to be praying about the situations in the world and everything and doing my bit where I can. But I can't possibly take the weight of the world on my shoulders, and so when things aren't going too bad for me, I feel like it's important for me to recognise that and to be positive and smile or laugh, you know. And sometimes I might feel a bit guilty about feeling happy myself when I know that others are suffering in different parts of the world, but I shouldn't let things get on top of me. We shouldn't let things get on top of us. The past few weeks I've had a bit of a bad back. I've got a few spine issues and it's kind of on and off really. And I was thinking about that old saying that's popular here in the UK. The one that goes, laughter is a good medicine. And I've been wondering about how true that statement really is and where it comes from. I mean, why is laughing a good medicine? And what's going on in our bodies when we laugh to make us feel better? So I started looking into this laughter is a good medicine thing. And I read the other day that laughter's meant to be so good for us that it's likened to inner jogging. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I don't do jogging. I don't even run for a bus, to be honest. But inner jogging kind of sounds manageable even for me. And I was also reading online that apparently a child can laugh or smile on average around 400 times a day. I mean, 400 times a day. That's huge. And they're asleep for most of that. Whereas an adult only laughs or smiles about 15 times a day. I kind of feel like we're losing the ability to laugh and smile the older we get, which is just really sad. When I was online researching all of this, I also read a letter from the Mayo Clinic Health. I think it was dated back in the 90s. And it said that laughter increases our breathing rate, obviously, and helps us to clear mucus from our lungs. So if you're like me and you're asthmatic, that's an even better excuse to have a good laugh. And laughter is also meant to be good for our heart. I mean, obviously, the more we laugh, the more our heart rate increases, and it's meant to be like a mini workout. So I guess that's where the inner jogging thing comes from. And if laughing increases the circulation, I suppose that will help the oxygen to get around our body. But the really interesting thing that I read online was that a good laugh can help our immune system to fight off colds and flu and things like that by increasing the concentration of an antibody blood protein in our saliva. I mean, that's amazing, right? And laughing might also help us to control pain and stress in our bodies because it raises the level of brain chemicals like endorphins and stuff, which we've all heard of. So I guess all the science seems to be proving how much laughter is really good for us and could act like a kind of medicine. I mean, that whole thing about the antibody blood protein in our saliva, who'd have thought? Actually, if I think about it, if I think about times when I've laughed really hard, when I've done things like spit out my drink or suddenly needed the loo really quickly, it's hard to like hold muscle tension when I'm laughing. Everything just lets go and relaxes. So it's hard to stay tense. So it's no wonder that tension leaves us and we feel lighter and happier when we're laughing. I can hear you shouting at the screen going, what's all this got to do with Christianity? Okay, so I wondered where that saying, laughter is a good medicine, actually came from. So as a Christian, if there's something that I'm unsure about, the Bible is kind of like my first reference book. So I looked it up. And there's a book in the Bible called Proverbs. And in chapter 17, I think it was verse 22, in the New Living Translation that I was reading, it says, a cheerful heart is good medicine. Sound familiar? So, you know, not only does science say that laughing is good medicine, but the Bible says it as well. And I'm wondering if that's where the saying came from in the first place. I mean, I don't know. It might not be. If you know where that saying came from, that laughter is a good medicine, please let me know in the comments. But it does sound a bit too coincidental, doesn't it? So I guess the good news is that for us to laugh more than 15 times a day is a good thing. Maybe we should be aiming for more like 400, like the little children. Because it sounds like if we laugh more, we're bound to feel better in all sorts of ways. So I'm going to finish now. But before I do, I just want to share a joke with you, which will hopefully make you laugh. How do you make holy water? Put water in a kettle and boil the hell out of it. Okay, that was a bit naff, but hopefully it made you smile, even just a little bit. Thanks for walking and talking with me again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.